Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome back. Another cast, Trend Following, and we're Trend Following with Trend Following Tyson. So, let's just let's start out. All right. So we did well in March. We did very well in March. Okay, we rode a lot of winners through, and it was a very great success in my opinion. Still holding on to these winners, still surfing. And so we're in April. We're approaching April. Let's keep following the momentum. Let's stay in the right places we should be. And the stocks that are winners are going to show us their winners. They've already showed us their winners. That's why we're still riding them. And we may add something to our portfolio. So let's stay with the big winners that we have. If you don't have winners that you're holding, you might want to take some entries to start you off in April and sit tight. Okay, so let's pick up something from Ed Psychota, pick up some trend following psychology, and then we'll jump into the charts. Traders and surfers both have to deal with the feelings of missing out on the small ones until the big one comes along. They also have to deal with feelings of staying with the big one. So let's stay with the big one, guys. If we're in the trend, if we made our entries, let's sit tight. So the biggest thing is sitting tight inside these entries. Okay, we need to be sitting tight inside the trends and why they're making their higher highs, and it's not going to be an easy ride. Okay, it's not going to be an easy ride. Sometimes these trends just don't go up in a straight line. We already said that they pull back and forth, but this is going to kind of seal the deal on why we're sitting with our winners. A mistake, and this is from Julian Kumar, trader on trading buddy of mine on Twitter. Okay, so another trend following trader. A mistake I did in the past was buying more and more stocks instead of concentrating my capital in my best stocks. If you have profits in a position, it's a sign that your bet works. So the positions that we have, we're sitting in them because it's a sign that our bets are working because we have profits in those positions. So let's sit tight in the positions that we should be sitting tight in. We shouldn't be just buying more stocks. Okay, we should be concentrating on our best stocks and making sure that we're allocated the right amount of capital and risk there. And if we have winners, let's concentrate on those winners. All right, we just discussed that. Thank you, Kumar. That just identifies our fact. Jumping into the quote, jumping into the trend picture. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for that. All right, so let's take a look at, I'm long on this DBD. Speaking of staying with the big one, all right, I'm long this thing getting over 10, and it kind of went to 11 and came back down it, and then right onside the top of that trend line. So, and you see this green bar coming in, looks like we're starting to set up for April to go green and set up to move above 1150. So when we close above 1150, that's a sign that we're finna set more higher highs, and price is getting ready to start chewing up more of this chart. So we're long on DBD and sit inside of our winners, like Kumar just said, letting our winners go to work. All right, AMSC. I just want to show you guys something about this superconductor because this thing's on the move and it's one of the better looking trends in the market. So all right, and there's the semiconductors doing well. So I like this thing long where it's at now, with a stop below this last trade here at 12, solid support at 12. 1175 will get you out of there. All right, AMSC moving up, tearing the charts up, and we're looking good there. I'm long APPS. This is just this thing's just been doing me very well, and let's just sit tight where we have profits and sit tight where winners are at. I'm sorry, you guys, this thing looks really messy with all that stuff I have on there. I was just looking at something. All right, so but yeah, this stock is on the move. We've broken out of all those levels, and we're kind of looks exactly how I figured it would. So this was some major resistance here at this 333, 335, and boom, we've already pulled back, hard pullback, and goes to show you guys, you got to sit tight when things don't look like they're winning in your favor. That's why we're sitting inside these big moves. Okay, and then here we are, found support, and this moves back on, and it's over this last major resistance level, trading at 350. So setting up to begin a solid April, and if we get over 380, man, that thing's on the move. So I'm sitting tight side in APPS and letting that thing continue to work. Profits inside that position, like Kumar said, and we're going to enjoy them. Let them continue to If wasn't a profit, then it's showing that the bet is correct. I'm letting these bets continue to work. BDSI at the top of that 52 at an all-time high, not an all-time high, but at the top of what we're doing in 52 and the top of this chart. We're at the top of it. All right. Anything to the left? No, we don't. BDSI is sitting at the top of that thing. So I like the strength there, and I think I liked how it looked on the 5-year. And look at this. You should definitely not be missing out along on BDSI right now, with that thing being in the top right of that yearly chart. Okay, so boom, there it is, man. Looking really good. Looking really good. BDSI, woof, tearing up that chart. Looks good on that 5-year. You see all that upside there, man. Just beast mode on BDSI. TAC may take a long. I always got, so I'm kind of fully maxed. I have focusing on my best stocks, kind of like Kumar said. This trend following all have the same kind of ideal kind of aspect of looking at things. So looking really good there, and kind of the same thing here, TAC. So I'm gonna be having some longs to look at if things look shaky in the positions I have. If I have to take profits in the positions I have, I will be having ammunition, so to speak, to load my weapons back, and that'd be taking longs on some of these good looking trends, BDSI, RUBI, and such forth like that. All right, so TAC, top of that chart right there, you see it looking really well on the yearly, and kind of right here on this 5 starting to curl up over price, and damn, definitely a lot of upside on TAC. So we already discussed this, guys. Strength on that yearly, this kind of strength on the yearly, and then showing somewhere we can get to on the 5-year. That means just love making music for me and how I pick my positions. All right, so all these things are matching up perfect with my criteria. So CSLT, I'm long. This thing's slow mover, just kind of chugging along. I'm gonna let this position continue to work. Okay, all right. So CSLT kind of sitting along this trend line, looking for some more upside over 4, and this thing gets interesting. More upside possibly there on CSLT, but definitely was long at 3, going up into 320, and then sat inside. Had enjoyed this big move up here. Just goes to show you, if you're long the trend where you should be, you can enjoy very nice moves like that. CSLT. And I'm long DBD. I'm long this thing. We just took a look at this, but we didn't actually examine it. It was just on the chart. So, all right, upside DBD pulling up, came back into the trend line, starting to find that green bar. And you guys all always know what we're looking at is we're panning out on price levels. Okay, we're panning out. So we broke out of the downtrend, obviously, right here. Broke out of the downtrend, and boom, upside starting to move on that 5-year chart. Starting to show some more space to clear up, and you wonder why we're long. So we're long DBD and enjoying that move as well. Profits inside that move, that's why we're sitting there, okay? ENPH was a long I took, kind of got impatient with myself and just did the whole plan there. ENPH at the top of this chart. Kind of looks like APPS does when you pan out on that 5-year. We're just curling and prices starting to round up, okay? See that chart right there, right? I didn't show you the 5-year on APPS, so that's DBDs. That's DBDs, and here's APPS looking very similar. Okay, chewing up the top of this chart, and we're starting to put the move on there. Okay. All right. FLNT. I like the way this thing looks. And remember, I told you guys I just want to have some ammunition in case I have to take profits in current positions. FLNT, I just wanted to prove a point on this stock right here. So if someone was asking me about entries to trends, either you can enter on a breakout or you can enter prices where they are. So here's the bottom of this trend line. You can take an entry on that trend line and get inside that trend, and then stop yourself out, give yourself a stop. All right, 525. And then if you get stopped out, then you get stopped out. If not, you probably won't, though, when this thing continues, and you just start and you're inside the trend. I look for me, I look for entries. People asking about trend following, this, that, how do you get inside the moves? For me, I look for entries at pullbacks, or I look for entries at breakouts. And then once I get inside that trend, I'm just sitting and enjoying the move. So this thing definitely covering up a bunch of chart. Beautiful stuff here, a lot of momentum. Let's just follow it. I like this thing long now with the stop below 1275, below this gap up on top of that candle. We should be holding that level up. Okay, FLDM looks really good. Follow the momentum on that. RDUS. This thing looks really good. All right, I'm looking for ammunition in case I have to take profits. You see on that yearly chart, starting to curl, a lot of upside here. I like this thing over. This is another example. People want to know, how do you get in the trend? I just don't know where to enter. Here's a good example here. We're banging against resistance levels. Take this thing long over 20. And we're approaching that 20-day, that 200-day moving average. So let's take this thing as we break over prices, break over 20, 20.50, 20.5, okay? And then drop ourselves out below this candle here at 19, all right? RDUS looking wonderful. Get inside that trend. Once it gets on the move, you stay put, okay? Snapchat really might have a bright future. That platform itself may have a bright future, let alone what the stock is doing. So I like what the stock is doing over the 200-day moving average, curled off of that IPO opening. And prices just curl. Remember I said when stocks have their IPOs, you need to let them drop and find out if there's a trend's gonna develop. And then if a trend develops, you can go off of that. Give yourself some higher highs and lower lows and some prices to the left. You're gonna need prices to the left to knock over on the side there, okay? So loving what we're doing here on this stock. Snap pulling back into this level here, and I like it with a stop below 1050. All right. Snapchat might have a very bright future. I'm long TNDM. Last long we'll look at, and then I'll see you guys. So let's hold our winners through March. If you don't have any, our winners through April. If you don't have any winners, let's get some winners into that portfolio, into some winners into your hand, and kind of let's sit tight. Okay, so TNDM, well, huge winner from this year, last year. So I took a long on this thing as prices gapped up, and boom, here we are. So I'm took a long at 62.50, kind of sitting through some whiplash here, but nevertheless, I don't have a really huge position, so I'm not oohing and ahhing at every turn. That's what kind of having the proper risk and the right position size. I don't have a really large position, so I'm gonna let this thing go to work. In my opinion, we prices start to develop here, and we get back over these highs here. TM just doesn't break up in price for no reason. I've traded this stock well, so let's see what happens. Stocks just, in my opinion, especially this stock, doesn't really gap up for no reason at all. So we're holding price, and I think this thing will continue to chew some chart up here. Let's give it some time. I wouldn't care if this thing went to 100 this year. It'd prove a huge fact. If this thing went over 80, it'd prove a huge fact in trend following for me. So I'm going to let that thing work. Not in a rush to take profits there. All right, so thank you guys. Let's let these winners work through April, and I'll see you guys next week. Trend following. Happy trend following. Trade safe, and let's do this. Happy April, guys.